Hey, thanks for joining. My name is Brandon, and in today's video, we are going to talk about Copilot Cowork. We're going to go through an example of how to create a custom skill, and then we're also going to show a demonstration or an output of that custom skill. But before we dive too much into that, I do have to provide a quick disclaimer. So I am a Microsoft employee. And this video is a video that I've created on my own. I'm not a spokesperson or try to represent Microsoft as a spokesperson in any way. This is just examples of things that I have seen in my day-to-day work in utilizing Cowork. And we get asked quite a bit by customers in terms of, hey, well, we have Cowork, or we're thinking about utilizing Cowork. What are some things that we can do? And so this is a video series that we're creating to just show real life examples of how you can do these things within Cowork and just provide ideas and examples for people to use within their own day-to-day function. So with that being said, we're going to go through an example of how to create a custom skill. So you may have heard this concept of skills. And so with Cowork, Cowork has a number of pre-built skills. I think there's 13 to be exact, but that may increase over time. But basically these included skills can be things like email, calendaring, Word, Excel, PowerPoint. These are skills that the Cowork solution already has built in under the hood to leverage those different things to help support the task at hand. You can take a custom skill and augment an existing skill. So you could say, hey, well, I want to augment the emailing skill because I want my email to be structured in a certain way. Or maybe with a PowerPoint, I would like to have a custom skill that is leveraging some type of brand template or some type of format or structure that you would want the PowerPoint to be created in, outside of it just coming up with its own, design and structure and all of that stuff. So think of the skill or really the custom skill as being more of like a standard operating procedure. This would be like, how do you want that specific thing to operate? You can also create custom skills for very industry specific type things. It can be a very specific workflow or a very specific process that you want it to do. And so that's exactly what we're choosing in today's video, is a very specific example for a very specific industry. So in my case, I support a number of customers who are in the financial services industry, banking, things like that. And one of the use cases that comes up a lot is underwriting. And so we actually created a custom skill for loan underwriting processes. And I'll actually put the markdown file, the custom skill in the description. So that way you can take it, you can modify it if you want to use it. Feel free. It's not hard to recreate. But basically, how do we go about creating the custom skill in the first place? So since I already have the custom skill created, I'm not actually going to create a new custom skill for the same purpose, but it can be as simple as just using natural language. You can go in and say, hey, I am an underwriter at XYZ Bank, and I'd like to create a underwriting skill to help me with loan applications. It can be as simple as that. Now, granted, in this I would say the more context that you can give it in terms of how you like to evaluate loan applications, or what are very specific types of things that you are looking for in data sets, like loan to value ratios, or whatever you want to focus in on, that you can get very prescriptive in this. So to create the custom skill, it can be very simple as just asking it to help you draft a new skill. Again, I'm not going to hit enter because I already have a skill here. But on my custom skill, I'm just going to quickly show the skill itself. So skills are found underneath the Cowork. So in your documents in OneDrive, every Cowork session creates a Cowork file, and there's a skills file that automatically gets saved. So here, this is where I have the loan underwriting skill. I can click on that, and this will actually pull up the skill itself. So this is what the skill represents. I basically have it where this skill takes raw loan application inputs: borrow income, debts, requested loan amount, collateral value, credit score, employment history, and produces a clean, consistent underwriting summary. So with this, I can take an application that I get from an individual, and then convert that into a standard underwriting summary that I can then pass along or use within my own internal process to then figure out, how we want to proceed as a business. So this is kind of shows you a little bit in terms of what the skill looks like. Again, I didn't write any of this code. I didn't create any of this in terms of writings. All I did is I went into Cowork, typed with very simple language around the type of skill that I wanted to create, the purpose of the skill, and then it was smart enough to then take my interpretation of what I was trying to accomplish and then go and create the skill for me. So in doing so, I also asked it to create some sample loan applications. And I don't know, every business probably has a different format of an application, but I created a couple, just, one that would show an approval and then one that would show a denial. So we're going to do that here. So I'm going to / this is just an easy way to either find, skills, people, files, meetings, anything that you want to reference in your prompt. The little / just helps, be a quick way to pull that in. So I have two applications here, one from a Casey Morgan, another one from Morgan Riley. Again, these are fictitious names. These are not real people. We're going to start with Casey Morgan. So I believe this is the one that doesn't have the greatest loan application and should populate as a denial. But we're going to say, can you use this loan application to underwrite the loan? And with that, it should automatically invoke the custom skill. This may take a couple of minutes, and so if this takes a while, then I'll try to condense the video to make it easier. But yep, it worked exactly as it needed to. So it pulled in the skills. It says, okay, the loan underwriting skill is what's being asked of me here. It's going to take a look at the loan application first. And then it's going to then compare it against the skill. It's going to say, okay, I have the document of the loan application. I have the skill. So with that document, it's now telling me what I need to do with that application. And so we're going to let this run for a second here, and then we'll see what the output looks like here in just a second. And you can see happen very quickly. I will scroll back to the top here once it gets done. Perfect. So that didn't take long at all. But basically it gives you a very consistent format. And again, you can go in and you can make changes to the custom skill if you want this to be, kind of provided in a different way. But basically it shows a snapshot of the application. What was the loan being requested? The property appraised value? What was the individual's credit score? What are some key ratios? The loan to value ratio, back end DTI, front end DTI, credit score assessment, the LTV, but also the DTI, like what's the rating, the employment rating, what are some risk flags based upon the application, and then ultimately provides a recommendation, approve or deny. So in this particular case, this was a decline. It basically says, hey, just in this demo, according to this application, it's a clear denial. Really the individual doesn't have the greatest credit score. They have less than 1 month of cash reserves, short tenure in their employment within their business. And so these are all risk indicators that basically just says, hey, this is not the type of loan that we should be underwriting. To show you what the document itself looks like, let me go get the document itself. I think it was this one. So again, this is just what it basically pulled in from the loan application. So the individual fills this out, and then it shows what their auto loan obligations are, any personal loans that they have, credit card minimums, loan requests, credit profile, any underwriter notes, things like that. So this is just a sample of the application that was used to support that entry. We're going to show another example of an approval. So we're going to go to Morgan Riley. Can you underwrite this loan application? So we're going to do the same thing that we did, just to show you consistent format. This is just to show you that, hey, this custom skill is representing the output in a consistent fashion, despite the information being different for an entirely different individual. So again, this just kind of shows the power of how quickly this can happen. And so we'll give this a second to let this run, and we'll show you the output as soon as it gets finished. So it looked like it was trying to find the document. It did find the document. So it went through a little bit of a different path than the previous prompt, but in the end, we should be getting the same result. Yep, so it found the document, found the information, so it's going to go back through and reassess. So one of the cool things about Cowork is that even when it encounters a challenge, right? Something that prevented it from doing what you were asking it to do, it found another way. It found another way to find the information. And so this is just another powerful aspect of Cowork, is that it can go and actually find ways around obstacles. Okay, so we just got it back. Again, I'm going to go back to the top. This basically just says, hey, here's the underwriting summary. Very consistent format to the other one that we just did, right? So it shows the application snapshot, key ratios, front end DTI, back end DTI, LTV, assessment of all of the different dimensions, everything from credit score to employment, any risk flag indicators. Again, this one didn't come back with any risk, and so the recommendation here was approved versus the other one, which was denied. So anyway, this is hopefully this demonstration has been helpful. This was, again, just to kind of show the power of skill creation, but also a very specific use case like this and how simple it was to create. Hopefully this video was helpful. If you have any other questions or would like to get some help from Microsoft, please reach out to your Microsoft representative and or your Microsoft partner. And really appreciate you watching today's video. Thank you.